My name is Will Kimbley. I created a learner management system for my class at Computech Middle School in Fresno, California. All right. So I teach Edison Computech Middle School. It is a GATE school, gifted and talented students. We're in Fresno Unified, there's 74,000 students approximately. We draw from 63 middle schools all across Fresno, and they test out as gifted and talented. And so I have all the gates, and so we have to have pretty high level education there. It was founded in 1983, and there's about 800 students, 400 in 7th grade and 400 in 8th grade. I teach 7th grade, and there are 2 computer teachers, so I teach half of the 7th grade, so I have about 200 students more or less. And for the entire 2 years they are at Computech, they are required to take a computer course. In fact, it's an 8-period day, so it's fairly rigorous. Most of the classes are pre-AP. Some of the classes, like the language and math, they're getting high school credit for, so it's fairly advanced school. So here was the problem. It was founded in 1983, state of the art. Well, state of the art in 1983 is not the same as state of the art in 2013. It was when I spoke with the principal when I was hired, and he was concerned that most of the computer class, consisted pretty much of keyboarding. He would come in even midway through the year, and they were still spending about half the class period doing keyboarding exercises or working through AppleWorks. And so they switched over to Microsoft and new computers the year before I came, and so they were starting to make some changes, but really it was a fairly outdated program and really needed a revamp. So the solution was just really pretty much take a total revamp of the system. I created a website to host my classroom, and I engaged in flipped and blended learning. Flipped classroom is you watch the lectures at home for homework and you do the actual work in class. So that was pretty much, they also watch videos in class, tutorials, I would do screencast. And pretty much we cover everything from computer use all the way down through, every student creates their own website. Keyboarding practice has been replaced with something else. I'll talk about that in a second. But they're designing all sorts of things. And the tutorials are done online. And we're giving them a whole thing on digital citizenship and covering quite a bit of work. The work is still in process. In fact, we're going through a revamp of how we're doing some of the tutorials and whatnot. But pretty much this was a complete change. So some of the things that were accomplished, get rid of that because that is going to drive me nuts. Hopefully that will go away. There we go. So what was accomplished? Each student creates their own website. And that was something that they hadn't been doing before. They hadn't really done much of anything in that regard. So they publish and maintain their own website. They write daily blogs. In fact, that's what replaced the keyboarding practice. So instead of getting on and just typing the normal mundane stuff of keyboarding, they're writing a blog. In fact, they maintain 4 blogs: math, science, core, and they have a free write blog as well that they can use to write pretty much whatever they want. I only see them 4 days a week because of block scheduling, so it's a blog for every day. So in 5 minutes, they're required to produce their blog. It starts off with a paragraph. By the end of the year, it's 3 to 4 paragraphs. So it is working in that regard, and so it's authentic writing, it's reflective. It's quite a change here. And they all maintain a digital portfolio as part of their website, writing reflective work and publishing stuff online. We also introduced Google Docs, Google Apps, and using that as part of what we're doing instead of just Microsoft. One of the big things that they accomplished was they created a website for the Fresno Zoo, and as part of their research. And this was a cumulative project where they used everything that they had learned in class, creating infographics, using Google Forms, using Google Docs for collaborative work and research, and a number of other things, Google Maps, Google Earth, a lot of the research, all the things that they had done through the year to create this website for the Fresno Zoo as part of their project, and it was in conjunction with the science class. Fresno Zoo liked it so much that they're going to link their website to it. In fact, have invited us to manage their website. We're still trying to work out the deal on that. they've lost access to their website. So we're trying to figure that out. So they're pretty happy with our work, and it's a really fun project that they did at the end of last year. And then my students from this year will continue maintaining and work on it as their fourth quarter project. So demonstration. This is the website, and I use Weebly for it. So when they go to pretty much, this is not designed for them to sit down on a computer and work independently. This is part of the classroom. I'm still the teacher. I'm still working in the classroom. The idea is that the resources that they can access. So things like this is what they did today while I was traveling over here. And what's nice about this is my sub-plan consists of tell the students to go to the agenda, see what's on there, and do the work. Thank you. So this is some of the assignments that they have for the day, and it says Google Draw Haiku. So that would signal them to go to curriculum, and they would find Google, and they would find drawing. And so down here at the bottom are the videos that they watch for homework. These would be replace the classroom lecture. And these are screencasts of some of the basic instructions. There's a rubric. In fact, they score themselves with rubrics, interactive rubrics that are done in Google Forms at the end. They turn it in electronically. They're creating something that looks more or less like that. There are also some other tutorials for Google Drawing here as well. And I have a place for deliverables, a number of different things on the website, what have you. So it's a fun project. Really enjoyed it. It's a great place to work, and it was nice to be able to have a project that went with my passion for working with students and bringing 21st century learning to life. And let's see, I think, another thing, we're talking about the quality of the project. Fresno County Office of Education came in, did a video on my classroom and put that out for teachers showing this is some of the things you can do, and kind of inspiring. So they were pretty happy with what we were doing. Got a fair amount of people coming through the classroom and seeing what we're doing and making some changes and whatnot. Questions?
What are you using for blog?
Weebly has a blog page that they just add to that.
And their
the
websites, are you using Weebly?
Yeah, they're using Weebly. Weebly was a decision that they had made before I joined the school. They were for teacher websites. They hadn't made the decision for students' websites, but the teachers had all said, we're doing Weebly, and they set up these accounts. Okay. And so I went with that. I was going to use Google Sites, but the nice thing about Weebly is fairly intuitive. It's drag and drop and eases up some of the load for getting that in. And since the teachers are, my idea for this is that this becomes more of a continuity between the not just what happens in my class. That's why I'm working with the science class, and that's why I'm working with math and the core classes, is that these websites are not just, oh, this is your computer class. No, this is going to guide all of your learning here at school. And so the teachers need to have that comfort. And many of the teachers have been there for 30 years, since the school started. Their levels of comfort with technology, some of them more, some of them less, many of them very less. So I need to have something in their comfort zone as well.
Okay.
Yes?
Is the flipping the classroom behind is concept behind this project? Flipping the classroom?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd already started flipping before I came to Computech, and I started Computech about 2 weeks before I started this program. I had taught 6th grade math. I was also half-time teacher, 6th grade math, half-time teacher on special assignment technology. So I started flipping my math class then, so it's kind of a natural thing that I was going to do that here as well, because my goal is students become producers of content, not just consumers. I don't want them sitting there passively absorbing. I want them in class working while I'm doing that. So.
Do they all have one more question?
Yes.
Do they all have the same account? All students and teachers have one account, Weebly account. How can?
No, there's a student accounts that they can set up, and so the school sets them up for them, and it's actually single sign-on through a number of their Google apps is a single sign-on. The Weebly it accesses all of that, so they each have their own individual accounts. So who's doing that?
Okay, thank you, Will.
All right.